It's up to us to remember what Kamala's mother told her. Don't just sit around and complain. Do something. So, if they lie about her, and they will, we've got to do something. If we see a bad poll, and we will, we got to put down that phone and do something. If we start feeling tired, if we start feeling that dread creeping back in, we got to pick ourselves up, throw water on our face, and what?
Oh, yeah. Stand by. Stand by that button right there. This button right there. And hello, everybody, and a good afternoon to you all. Welcome to Red, White, and Do Something on this election day. It's finally here. Oh. Also, here is a little too much light for Daddy's face, but what can I do? Hi, everybody. How you feeling out there in election land? Would love to get some vibe check going in the chat. We're on the West Coast, but polls have started to close. Bah! It's actually happening, people. It's actually happening, and it's happening right now. And I thought this would be a good time for us to just do a quick little check-in. Can't stay long today because, there's a lot going on. You got to kind of keep up on track of everything. There's so much happening, so much that you gotta see what's happening out there. So the voting has begun. The voting is quickly wrapping up. I mean, we got about 6-7 more hours if you extend the vote all the way out to Hawaii or Alaska. I don't know how late they're voting tonight. Not expected to be competitive states for either of the main presidential candidates. And so I want to know what you're thinking. I mean, are we going to know who the president is going to be tonight? That would be cool. Are we going to know who controls the Senate tonight? That also would be cool. Are we going to know anything tonight? Probably not. We can dream, right? Can we dream? Oh, yes. We can definitely dream that we will get a result sometime in the current era, but it seems unlikely. However, stranger things have happened. For example, those of you who are polling nuts will remember that Ann Seltzer shocked the world over the weekend by saying, Kamala by 3 in Iowa. Yeah. If that's the results that other states show, we'll know who the president is tonight. But my guess is that's not going to be the way it plays out. However, I'm open to interpretation and open to hope. What do you think? What is going to happen tonight? Are we going to know a result before we go to bed? I would like to hear from you, the loyal red, white, and do something listener. And speaking of loyal red, white, and do something listeners, may I be so bold as to introduce tonight's very special sponsor for this Election Day episode of Red, White, and Do Something. It is, of course, Mountain Dew Liberty Chill. Mountain Dew Liberty Chill, because depending on how the election goes, there may be a great chill of liberty across this land. And so a patriotic soda is the best we can do, for tonight. So let's keep a stock on hand. If you like coffee, if you like tea, if you prefer a Red Bull or something along those lines, then be sure to help yourself, because there's plenty of good stuff out there to keep you awake. If we end up going the Bush Gore 2000 route, yeah, I will always remember being up all night with Dan Rather and Bob Schieffer. I know that's the big whiteboard election for Tim Russert, but I was a CBS man then, and I was watching Dan just because, every 5 minutes he would come up with another, well, the election tonight is tighter than a hog's uterus on birthing day for a litter of 20 pups. Something. I mean, it was always folksy, certainly folksy, but Dan was just being very Dan like that night. The big nights bring out the best in him. Who are you watching tonight? I'd love to know where you're going to turn for your election coverage. I'm not going to be here all night, frankly, people. I'm not. So who are you turning to after you stop watching this live stream? Is there a favorite broadcaster you trust? Is there somebody you can trust to tell it like it is? We do have somewhat of a tradition on Election Day in this country. Sometime in the evening, states will start to be called for the Democratic candidate, and on Fox News, Karl Rove will freak the hell out. So I'm looking forward to that one. That's, you can set your watch by that one. That happens nigh every year. So that'll be exciting when the blue wall begins to build and Karl is threatening people and calling friends and telling people this isn't over. Who knows? Maybe he's right. Maybe it's not over. The thing is, the decision is well underway. And there's absolutely nothing we can do about... Oh, what? Wait a minute. What? There's still stuff we can do? Holy shnikey. Are you serious? Colin, it's what? 3:20 Pacific time on Election Day. What can I, the humble home viewer, do to help in this election? Well, I'm glad you asked. Frankly, I'm glad you asked. Because there are things you can do. For example, I highly recommend going to iwillvote.org. There are definitely actions that the campaigns still need volunteers for, even at this late hour. turnout based, texting and phoning and phone banking and helping people with rides to the polls and making sure that we get every last vote to the polls in states like Arizona and Nevada. Also Nevada, depending on if you're a local or not. And so that is definitely something we got to keep an eye on tonight. But it's not over by a long shot. And there are also some really important things waiting for you in the future. And you're saying to yourself, Colin, I thought the election was over today. The election is not over today. There's still election stuff that needs to happen. For example, take a look here. This is a great little tool put together by the California Secretary of State's office, I believe. Let me double check my facts on that one, because who wants to be wrong about this? Certainly not I. Let's see. Yes, the state of California runs a program here called Ballot Tracks. And so if you're in the state of California and you have voted and you want to find out, did your vote make it? If you dropped it in a drop box or dropped it in a box at an election vote gathering site, an election little shop or election, whatever they call them, the little pop-ups that happen in California, at least in Los Angeles, were happening a lot in the weekend before the election. And that's where we voted. We took our vote by mail ballot down to an election center at a local school and dropped it off right there. That was super handy. So this is a way you can definitely track your ballot if you live in California. I'm guessing other states have similar programs in place. But as we were talking about, this is not the end of the journey, because we also have a high percentage of need for people to help voters cure their ballot. To cure their ballot. Now, what is a ballot cure? Many of you know. For those of you who don't, I'll give you the quick rundown. The ballot cure is, oh goodness, I voted absentee or by mail, and there is something wrong with my ballot, and they ain't gonna count it. But because it's a fixable mistake, they will give you a little extra chance to come in and fix your mistake. You can get several thousand votes this way by curing ballots that otherwise would be discarded. And there are ballot cure teams that are needed for swing states. Arizona, definitely. Ohio, I don't know if that's very swingy. We'll see. North Carolina, chase and cure. There are many, many of these curing opportunities for people. So if you want to help people who have voted, make sure that their vote counts. Ballot cure door knocking. There you go. All kinds of opportunities still out there to help have an effect on the election. Now, of course, the big one, and this is the big one. We'll take a look at this bad boy. The first polls have started to close as anxious nation awaits results. Are you a member of an anxious nation? Do you fear the rise of Nazism in your country? I certainly do. I certainly would like it to be a lot less Nazi-ish in America right now. But the anxiety is, manageable. And for that, I believe we have to thank the fine folks at the New York Times Tech Guild, who are currently on strike, and I believe preventing the Times from bringing back the dreaded needle, the election needle. Oh my God. If we have a needle-free election from the New York Times, I think that will be the best of all possible outcomes. And as I saw someone on social media say, perhaps the greatest achievement for organized labor since the invention of the weekend. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's see. We'll see what happens, right? The thing will start to fill in here. We will get a good look at Senate, House, and of course, the presidential race. And we will see. At the end of it all, we're all just here hoping for the best possible outcome, right? I say, right? All of us want the best for democracy? At least I do. I don't know if you all do, but I'm hopeful that you do. And I think America is going to have a lot to say tonight about the future direction of this country and the future way it's going to go. As it does every election, there's always a story. And oftentimes it's lurking right beneath the surface of data and interviews and diners in small Midwestern towns where people go and, try to discern, what are the heartland of America thinking? You don't see a lot of people going to Spago to find out what the left coast of America is thinking. These $200 a plate diners at a fine dining restaurant in Beverly Hills are concerned about Trump's tax plan. I don't know why. So we wait. We wait. Now, I did get a little response. Let's check in with TV's Dr. Kathy Campbell. She's doing MSNBC, switching off with CNN. That's a good call. It's a good call. How Kornacki are we expecting tonight to get? I'm thinking it's going to be, moderately heavy Kornacki. A little Kornacki is good, but a lot of Kornacki, maybe too much Kornacki. So I'm hoping that MSNBC judiciously uses its Kornacki tonight. I'm not looking for a feast of Kornacki. You have like 10 anchors sitting on set, all wanting to give analysis, but everybody has to stop because Kornacki's at the big board. I did see while Brian Williams has hitched his wagon to Jeff Bezos. Fantastic. And so on Amazon Prime tonight, from the same people that bring you Thursday Night Football, I'm guessing, you'll be able to see live coverage of tonight's election featuring Brian Williams and a cast of tens. And I'm guessing that would probably describe the viewership as well. However, more power to them. It would be tough for me, not impossible. I don't want to rule anything out, but it would be tough for me to recommend someone in media looking for like actual journalism to appear on or with or via an outlet owned by a right-wing billionaire. And this includes Murdoch, Musk, Bezos. It's tough because they have the money and you would like to make money if you're a journalist or a reporter or a political analyst. I get that. Look, you want to make some money. Great. Fantastic. It just can be a little tricky. Oh, he's not going to interfere. They promise. And he doesn't interfere. Just up until the point that he does. So remains to be seen what the journalistic arm of Amazon turns out like to be. Have you ever watched an Amazon shopping show on their platform? It's, I'm not saying it makes QVC look like The Godfather, but kind of. We'll see how that turns out. I'll be interested in the response to it. Brian's been off TV for a while. Is he kind of, regenerates? Does he have to go into a cocoon and come out with a news story about Iraq, or what happens? I don't know. So we'll see. But that's about it for now. I wish there was a lot more to go over. But as you know, the first polls just closed as an anxious nation is awaiting the results. And we'll see how it goes tonight. Hang in there. Self-care. Probably you got time right now to start a movie and watch something before the real returns start coming in. You got time. Watch a sporting event. Watch a Highlight on ESPN 8, the Ocho. Look for something that distracts you completely. And then maybe check back in around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. And just put a toe in and see what's going on. Also, highly recommend turning off live activities on your iPhone. My iPhone is already trying to show me Senate seat swings and, things on the lock screen. And I'm like, oh, no, thank you. No, I'm good. But I appreciate the suggestion. And yeah, hang in there. Whatever happens, there is a tomorrow. And we will get through this. And regardless of the presidential outcome, the fight continues. because America right now is faced with a real big choice on what kind of country it wants to be. A country of bullies or a country of helpers. I mean, I know where I stand on that one. Everybody has to make their own choice. But bullies v. helpers, I'm on the helper side. And I hope you are too. So if you have a chance, there's still plenty of ways to get involved. I really want to recommend you visit iwillvote.org or one of the many kind of the democratically aligned ballot curing efforts that are underway. The one I showed you was from Vote Save America, who've done a lot of outreach and a lot of good ballot and voter contact work this cycle. And hang in there. And we will check back in later tonight. And in the immortal words of our Lord and Savior Michelle Obama, do something. We will do something. And I'm hopeful that tonight that something will be a win. And in fact, to put a smile on your face, it was so well received during yesterday's stream, so well received when we talked about how after you're president during the death of 1 million Americans. I won't say that he killed them. That's not fair. The virus was going to kill a lot of people. But after you're president during a time of great mortality in America, that perhaps is overextended because of the incompetence of your leadership and lack of belief in basic scientific principles, you shouldn't get another shot. And I was reminded of this going through some videos to prepare for the show, that back in 2021, during our traditional New Year's Eve ball drop, we were unable to gather in person. And so following then current CDC guidelines, we had an entire remote event, which was very fun, except for the part where we had to also have frankly, a remote, socially distant dance party.
Just relax. Keep it happy. Make them believe. Play with the phone. Shake the phone. Play with the phone.
That's right. Well, that's right, people. We had to have socially distanced dance parties thanks to the actions of the former guy. Let's have a real life dance party tonight. Okay? Get out there. It's not too late. You still can make a difference. Do your best. Run through the finish line. Don't listen to any of the exit polling. The exit polling is the dumbest, worst invention in the history of humanity. Because what do they do with the exit poll numbers? They wait until after the election, and then they get the actual vote totals, and then they go back and change the exit polls to match what the electorate voted so that they have a better understanding of the breakdown of what types of voters were doing what things. Don't do this. Don't fall for the exit polling. Who cares? Run through the line. Cure some ballots. Do a phone bank shift. For God's sakes, if you can't do anything else, send some money. I sent some last night. And today I was rewarded. I got a text from the next president of the United States saying this was the last text she was going to send me. And I said, thank you, because that was the purpose of the donation. If I donate one last time, will you please stop texting me? And I got results. I'm just saying. Have a great night, everybody. We're going to make it.
It's up to us to remember what Kamala's mother told her. Don't just sit around and complain. Do something. So, if they lie about her, and they will, we've got to do something. If we see a bad poll, and we will, we got to put down that phone and do something. If we start feeling tired, if we start feeling that dread creeping back in, we got to pick ourselves up, throw water on our face, and what?
Thank you.